All right, guys, Jimmy Reece here. The secret to becoming the prize: why women chase the man who can hold the frame. So, our program's called the Magnetic Method. So, if you enjoy this and want more tips and tricks, just subscribe. Click the link in the description. So, let's just get into it. You ever notice? Everyone notices this, really. Whether you do consciously, is just the more you try with a woman, the less interested she becomes. And it's just a function of experience. And sometimes guys can never grow out of it or never can acknowledge it. It can be a function of just always thinking the next girl is that you're in particular that you're talking to is different than the other ones, and forces you to chase or seek approval. And when you do that, you're not ever really creating room for you to be the prize. So each time you do this, the interest fades. So a lot of times you just literally have to force yourself, even against what feels like the incorrect judgment, is just not to pursue. And pursue can mean just anything as subtle as a compliment to accepting the fact that she canceled plans and then immediately jumping on the next opportunity to see her. So it's any little micro action even that just validates her at your expense. So it's that belief that's going to really help you to shift the frame where you can be the prize, because by definition, if you're always in pursuit, you can't even have the opportunity to be the prize. And you don't need external proof to pull this off. The belief creates the reality. When you believe that you're the prize, you can start acting like it. And when you act like it, they will treat you that way. And that's what positioning yourself means. So you have the belief that you are the prize, and that confidence is a feedback loop that they can feel. Okay, so they're more in tune to emotions than we are in energy, and by having that mindset, it's going to reveal itself in your interactions. So this is the validation trap. The one who tries harder loses power, and typically they are very used to people pursuing them. Okay, so when you stop trying to perform and stop explain, you can create a vacuum where you can be the prize, even if you don't think you can be. Okay, so if you stop chasing, she can start chasing and seek your approval. And if you have been pursuing someone relentlessly, you can just make that change and incrementally rebuild the frame. Now, it's important when you meet someone new to realize the mistakes you've made in the past and just allow the vacuum to exist. So how do you incrementally work to becoming the prize? You start by just cold turkey not validating her. That's the first and foremost. That's going to be the most important thing. And that's going to create some curiosity on her part. And what made you decide to do that? Okay, because she's used to that validation. So automatically you're going to distinguish yourself by holding firm and not pursuing. And we go over a lot of different tricks. This is a popular one and helps you make incremental progress. And just asking for a small favor, hey, on your way to the lunchroom, can you bring me back a donut? Can you bring me back a coffee? If it's like someone in your office that you're flirting with, for example, it's just a tiny bit of effort leading to some investment that leads to attraction. And remember, it's an incremental shift. If there's no attraction or interest there, you have to start small, and that's one way to do it. Okay, so next, just maintain standards. You can't let her downgrade plans without consequences. So if you had a dinner that became a lunch, you have to reschedule, okay? Because 99% of guys are going to jump on that lunch just as an opportunity to see her. You got to communicate value. Your time's valuable too. And this is a part where guys just have a lot of difficulty doing that. And it's going to decrease your perception in her eyes if you can't do that. So it's all under your control. The perception is under your control. And it's important to remember that big picture. And listen, becoming the prize isn't about tricks. It's not about memorizing lines, but you can use that as a crutch. You can use those strategies as a crutch. And listen, subscribe in the link in the description. You get a lot more specific strategies, a lot more training that we can provide to try and create those psychological switches. And especially if you're a guy that's having a lot of trouble with this, it's important to really treat it as an education and not just trying to fake different things. So if you've ever been ghosted, put in the friend zone, or had a woman lose interest, just click the description. I think we could be helpful to just recreate the perception of your confidence step by step. It's called the magnetic method. Okay, and let's just recap here. You want to stop pursuing. You want to do incremental things to be the prize, and at least make her stop and think, hey, what's going on with this guy? And that's going to really eventually lead, when you improve it's about improving your personal confidence, to get her to chase you. And that's the outcome.